Okay, welcome back to chapter 2 now of our course. Of course, we're still in the first week. By now you've had a chance to look at most of the introductory comments and videos and information about the course, and hope you're asking your questions and we're moving along on schedule. This chapter will need to be finished in this first week. As you know, Chapter 1 was an introduction to systems engineering, mostly terms and definitions, to try to get you acclimated to some of the language that we're going to use and some of the thought processes that we're going to use throughout this course. Chapter 2 starts to take those terms, those definitions, those thought processes, and put them into a process. It's essentially how to do a very good planning document for a system that you are going to design and to implement. You can look at it as a way that if you were talking to upper management about a concept, these are the kinds of questions that they would ask, so you want to be prepared to answer them. And so that you know that, so that they know that you have spent enough time thinking it through, making some logical decisions, making some predictions, having some outcomes, and that they should trust you on working on this project, and that it's this one that they might want to invest time, resources, and energy into for the company. It starts to talk about where do we start. It starts to talk about what comes first, what comes next, what's the ladder, the progression as we move through. It allows you to design a system and hopefully have eliminated that step that you say, oh, I wish I'd have thought about that earlier. How often does that happen where we get to a stage and somebody says, well, what about this? Oh, nobody thought about it. We haven't planned for it, so it's not part of the process. This process would hopefully allow for all of those questions, or as many of those questions as is practical, to come out early in the process so that we can plan for them, implement them, get them as part of our design, and hopefully not waste time and energy trying to backtrack or try to put this into the system at the last minute. Of course, we know those things always come up, but this will try to eliminate and reduce them as much as possible. As engineers, you all know that what engineers do is we solve problems. And the first thing that we have to identify in our system design is what is the problem that we're trying to solve? Where is the need? If there's not a need, there's not a project. There's no reason to be doing this. So there's got to be a need. It's got to be a well-identified need, and then the solution has to be feasible, has to make sense. So step one is going to be to define the problem, define the need, and then we'll start to talk about how we're going to fill that need. Step two is the system requirements. What does the system have to do to fill that need? If it's a product, does it have to physically do something? Is it a software system? Is it a transportation system? Do we need to move something from A to B? What does the system have to do to fill the need or the problem definition? Next step, excuse me.